What's good, y'all? I already know where y'all at. It's your boy Star Jones, and it's a new episode of Star Views. It's about to start right now. So please, I hope you got your hookah ready, and I hope you got your cups full of whatever ready, because I got a lot to talk about, alright? Know what's going on. Star Jones, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Please and thanks, you heard? What's good, folks? It's your man Star Jones. You already know. We're back with yet another episode of Star Views. I believe this is episode 6. I just want to say I'm excited because we just riding this momentum. April ended up being a busy month. I know when I did my Chop It Up videos, I said it wasn't going to be too busy, but it ended up being busy. I was able to put content out for you guys to watch and enjoy. But tonight, well, this afternoon rather, because it's a beautiful Saturday right now outside, we're going to be talking about Tom Clancy's Without Remorse, starring Michael B. Jordan. This was a movie I knew very little about, early on in the year, but as time went on, it gained buzz, it gained traction, and, it was brought to my attention. And I mentioned in my Chopping Up video that, I was going to sit down and actually talk about it. So, we will get into that in a minute. Before I do that, just letting you guys know, please don't be upset with me tonight, this afternoon, or whenever you're watching this, because it's a beautiful day outside, and I plan on going outside. So again, I will not be smoking hookah. I know it's been 2 shows in a row, and I didn't smoke hookah with you guys, but just something about a beautiful day outside. And I just, you know what? I'm gonna go outside and smoke, right? So, but please get your hookah ready. I am gonna drink with you guys as always. That's the least I could do for you guys pulling up. So I'm gonna go get my cup, and I'll be back in a second. We're gonna go straight into what this movie was about, and what to expect while watching. All right, no spoilers tonight, so y'all good to go. All right, I'll be back in a second. So we back, folks. I told you I got that drink for y'all. I ain't gonna just leave y'all hanging like that. But anyway, Tom Clancy's Without Remorse. So before I get into the film and the overview, just a little background on Tom Clancy. Tom Clancy is a best-selling author. He writes a lot of books concentrated on war stories, crooked governments, espionage, things of that nature. And a lot of his books have been adapted into video games, movies, as well as TV shows. So I guess you can say Without Remorse is the latest installment in the Tom Clancy verse. I just said that out loud. I never said it before, and that sounds really good. Tom Clancy verse. The Clancy verse. I like that. Yeah, the Clancy verse. So this is the latest installment in the Clancy verse. All right. So pretty much we meet John Kelly, Michael B. Jordan's character, and he's a Navy SEAL. My armed forces folk out there are quite familiar with the Navy SEALs. For those who aren't familiar with who the Navy SEALs are highly trained, probably the upper echelon of the armed forces units, and pretty much they're assigned to go into situations and I guess extract high-profile targets, as well as doing other covert op missions, low-key shit, in other words. So, John Kelly, Navy SEAL, highly ranked, decorated officer in the film. So we meet the character in Syria, as well as the rest of his Navy SEAL team. And as I mentioned, Navy SEALs are responsible for extracting high-profile targets, as well as doing other covert op missions. But again, in this film, they're extracting a high-profile target. And prior to any mission in the armed forces, they have briefings. Just like at work, before y'all start your day, your manager will call you in, let's have a meeting. And they give you an idea of what to expect throughout the course of the day, what the work volume should look like, etc., etc. So with John Kelly and his Navy SEALs team, they were briefed prior to the mission, and they were told that the target that they was going to extract was someone, right? Someone from here. Don't really want to tell you who it is because, again, I think that's important to the film. So they go in there, shit goes left, as per usual with Army flicks or soldier movies involving soldiers, shit goes left. But they ultimately, in the end, get the high-profile target out of the extraction zone. And at the conclusion of the mission, we find out that this high-profile target, who was told to be this particular person, ends up being someone else affiliated with Russia. So, yes, Russia is the antagonist in the film. You know, like a lot of movies, Russia is usually the enemy in the film. To my Russians out there, I don't got no beef with y'all. I'm just saying. But, you know, so this movie is another example of, I guess, the real life tension between the two countries. So the high profile target ends up being a Russian operative who actually killed one of John Kelly's teammates. And, you know, of course, John Kelly feels away because they went into the mission expecting someone else, and it ends up being someone that he had an issue with, he had prior knowledge of, so he wasn't too fond of that. So fast forward, mission's over. We see John Kelly and his team living normal lives. They're at home with their families, enjoying life. Of course, what is an army movie, again, without shit going left? Shit goes left. Family members are killed. Navy SEAL team members are killed. And John Kelly himself is on the verge of death. Critical condition. Wakes up in a hospital. And this is not a spoiler because we know this in the trailer. His family is murdered. So you wake up in a coma for a couple of days, or, you know, ICU type shit. And you wake up to find out that your family's dead. So, like most movies, this turns into a revenge type of situation. So John Kelly's motivated to find out who exactly killed his family, and he's on a mission to, you know, avenge his family. So, as the movie progresses, we learn that Russia is not alone in what's going on. Our own government is involved with the bullshit that's going on. So John Kelly, again, on his mission to avenge his family, is learning how he and his team were set up to fail off rip. When they came home and the mission went the way it was, they would end up being pawns in the grand scheme of things. There's a lot of chess references about pawns defeating kings and what pawns can do to a king. So once you see the movie, you'll get it. So, you know, John Kelly essentially being the pawn, the king essentially being the government, and he's doing all these things for the government, and now he has to tackle the people that has been controlling him and telling him what to do this entire time, because clearly y'all never had my best interests at heart, and I was just expendable. So that's pretty much the film. That's the, you know, the best way I could give you the context of the film, you know, without giving you too much. Because again, I don't like ruining things for you guys, and I disclaimed in the introduction that there will be no spoilers tonight. So that's the film in a nutshell. And when I come back, we are going to give you this. I'm going to give you the star rating, how I rate this film. Of course, I'm gonna give you the pros and cons of the movie, and hopefully y'all rock on my rating. I got a lot of backlash for the last review, last star views, but you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be back in a second. So we back. My favorite part of the show, as well as I'm sure everyone at home, will actually give this movie a star rating. So before I get into the star rating, you know, I like to give you guys my pros and cons of the film, and pretty much, you know, like I said, just give you a little perspective. Pardon me. A little perspective on, you know, the film. So I'm gonna start with the pros. I just want to shout out Laura London. You know, rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. It was good to finally see her, you know, acting and doing, you know, what it is that she does. So I just want to shout out, you know, the people that made this movie happen and casting her in the role, and utilizing my son Nipsey Hussle's music for the soundtrack. So I just appreciate that, and I think that was definitely something that reeled me in, just because I'm such a big Nipsey Hussle fan. So again, shout out to Laura London. It was good to see her, and I give her credit because her character goes through a traumatic event in the film. So I know it took a lot for her to play this role. So I just, you know, want to give Laura London a shout out. So that was definitely one of the pros of the movie. Also want to shout out Michael B. Jordan. I think Michael B. Jordan is really ascending in the right direction. I think he's really doing an amazing job as an actor, young actor. I think he's a little older than me, but you know, it's good to see, you know, a young black face doing this thing. So, you know, Michael B. Jordan really, I think, knocked it out the park, because we've seen him in action roles before. We've seen him in the Creeds, you know, movies like that, and you know, he did an amazing job in those. So to see him in this movie, and I think this is the first time we're actually seeing him as like a soldier. So, you know, further expanding his action movie resume. So, you know, I think that's a good thing. And again, I want to shout him out again, because on the Without Remorse Instagram page, there's like a reel where they show him actually training with Navy SEALs and soldiers to make the role look as authentic as possible. So me, as a fan of movies and every, you know, meticulous detail that goes into making a film, I could appreciate that. So seeing him actually take this seriously and actually putting himself in the field, so to speak, to look the part, I could appreciate that. And it translated well in the film. He looked like, you know, someone who actually does this army life shit. You know what I'm saying? So, the story was cool. The action was good. The gunfighting was good. The story was simple, but again, it was good. It was good. Now, as far as the cons are concerned, it kind of ties into my last pro. Like, it's simple. The con was, it was a very simple film. And again, this might not be a con for a lot of other people, but you know, I think a simple story sometimes brings the movie down a little bit, because it's a little too simple. And then when it becomes too simple, it becomes predictable. So as I was watching the movie, it was just like, all right, this is about to happen. This is going to happen. And once a movie becomes predictable, it kind of, you know, takes away from the fun. And then on top of that, I can't put my finger on it, but there was something the movie was missing. And again, the predictability, it kind of was just like, it was a particular scene in Russia, and I'm in my head like, I feel like the movie's ending, you know? And I just feel like, you know, the climactic scene, the last big gunfight, whatever the case may be, could have been better. I think it could have been a little more action-packed when we realized who the baddie was and who was really manipulating the team this entire time. I feel like that person could have been done off as you know, more, you know, action-packed. You know what I'm saying? I think, you know, when we discovered who the bad guy was and who the bad guy was in cahoots with, it was like, oh, word, this is how we're gonna end them. You know, I just wanted a little bit more. You know, sorry. You know, the movie was action packed, and then it was just, you know, it was even points in the movie. I don't suffer from anxiety, FYI. Shout out to the people who suffer from anxiety. You know, I hope you. But I say that to say, I don't suffer from anxiety. And there were kind of moments in the movie where I was kind of like, oh shit, what's about to happen? You know, had me, you know, on the edge of my seat. But I feel like because of all those mild anxiety moments, I should have got a better climax. I should have had a better conclusion. I should have had a better ending once we found out who the bad guy was. Who was controlling the bullshit this entire time. I feel like I should have had a little bit more. So with that said, I'm going to give this movie 7 stars. I know you guys at home like, damn, Star, you give a lot of 7s. But I think 7 is a fair grade. I think, you know, at the conclusion of this movie, I can say I enjoyed it. I liked it. I will watch this again if it comes on TV. If there is a sequel, I will be tuned in. So again, I think, yeah, I liked it. I think a 7 is a solid grade, because, you know, I've given other movies 8s, but I didn't enjoy this movie as much as I did those other movies. So, you know, I kind of use that as a scale when I'm grading films. So again, 7 stars. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan, Laura London. It wasn't really a star-studded cast. There were familiar faces in the film, but you know, Michael B. Jordan was the face of the movie. But go see it. I think you should watch it. It's on Prime Video. If you don't have the $14.99, I'm sure there's other means of finding it online. But Prime is also like an HBO Max. It's a lot of options to watch. So I think you guys should watch it. I mean, invest in it. I think it's good for your pockets. Good bang for your buck. So again, 7 stars. That's my Tom Clancy's Without Remorse. Check it out. Think you'll enjoy it. And that's the end of April. So I will see you guys in May. I will be dropping another Chopping It Up episode, letting you guys know what to expect in May. I think I got some shit for May. I think May is going to be a busy month. I may be mistaken. I got to go through my notes. But again, I'll see you guys soon. I will be dropping Chopping It Up, letting you guys know what to expect for the month of May. And see you soon. Appreciate your time. Enjoy the remainder of your weekend. Oh, y'all still here? Appreciate y'all for sticking around, man. But I don't got no more hookah. But what I do have is more content on my YouTube channel. So please, if you haven't done so already, hit that red button and subscribe. Hit the bell so you get notified as soon as I post anything. All right? And if you haven't already followed me on social media, here's my information. Make sure y'all follow up. Appreciate it. Y'all still here, man. That's valid. Have a good one.